Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Surprise Thursday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Indiana Jones Adventure Series, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Major Arnold Toht. Let's get into it! Let's begin our interrogation with a look at the packaging. And here on the top, you can see a little bit of the map in there, but it just fades out, really. Hook, tape, that's it for the top. On the front, Indiana Jones Adventure Series, nice digital render of Major Toht. Build an artifact of the Ark, nice artwork here of Toht, and then that map in the background. Major Arnold Toht. Assortment number. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. Hasbro print, 4 and up, plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. And on the bottom, small print, fine print, a legalese print, made in Vietnam print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, build an artifact, and there's the completed artifact along with the cross sale, and which figures include which pieces, each sold separately, subject to availability. USA and Canada, recycle. On this side, Indiana Jones Adventure Series, some nice artwork featuring Major Toht. Plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. And on the back, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, build an artifact, the Ark. Major Arnold Toht. Nice digital render from the front. And then we have another digital render here showing the figure and his accessories and his build an artifact piece. Warning, attention, Achtung! Don't stick things in any language pie hole that does not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Attention! Don't stick it in your French pie hole either. Small print, fine print, legalese print, made in Vietnam print, Disney print, and Hasbro print. That, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers, but we'll get to those in just a minute. And let's take a look at his build and artifact pieces. And here he comes with one side and one end of the Ark of the Covenant. So it looks like it's molded in that swirly twirly gold plastic, but also get some paint, and quite shiny paint. As you can see, it keeps reflecting in my light, and it's probably gonna mess up on the chroma key. And pretty much the same thing on this. I do think it's, well, this one looks like it has paint out on both sides. But you can see it does have some nice molded details in there. And then there's the ends where the tubular pieces go. Now let's take a look at Toht's accessories. Here we have his pistol, which looks to be a Walther P-38, the same gun as Megatron. Nice molded details, and it looks like a bit of a paint app on the handle, but yeah, it does look like there's a bit of a paint app there for the handle. Very dark wood. Here we have his hand that he uses to pay tribute, salute to that crazy German guy who was in charge of those guys during World War II. I don't want to say his name because it'll probably get me demonetized forever. But this is the hand he used to grab the headpiece of the Staff of Ra, wherein the Germans made their copy of it. Of course, it was just one-sided. Nice molded details on it. It looks very hand-like. And it looks like the scar is molded as well as painted. So that's a very nice detail. Very important for this character. And here's his melty face from the end of the movie. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. But you know, it's like 40 years old, so over 40. So if you haven't seen it by now, chances are maybe you'll watch it after you watch this review. But when his face gets all melty at the end. So I think that's a really cool and surprising item that they included with this figure. Now here is his coat, which he just normally kind of just wears over his shoulders usually. And that's the way this is molded, so it just fits over his shoulders. As such, much like the original Kenner Indiana Jones figure of Toht. So that's pretty cool. Now, one thing I do think this figure's missing is like the chain and wood hanger that, you know, he folds up, and Marion thinks he's going to torture her with it, and it turns out to be a hanger. That would have been also a neat accessory to include with this. And then his last accessory is his hat. He has a removable hat. Indiana Jones does not. However, this guy, all of it, he just feels a little small, especially the head. It doesn't quite look right to me. I don't know. I could be wrong. The actor might just have a small head. I don't know. But there it is. Nice little hat. Fedora. Now let's take a look at the figure. He does have his spectacles. Looks like they are made out of clear plastic and then painted. This part looks to be part of the head, maybe? It's hard to tell, really. Anyway, it's all glued on there. There's no coming off. I do have to say, it does look pretty close to what I remember of the character. And then like this, the neck and the collar of the shirt and the tie are all one piece there, separate from the torso and the head, with most likely a ball at the bottom and then like a dumbbell or half a dumbbell at the top. And doesn't appear to have any butterfly. And then if there's anything in the torso, it's covered up by this suit overlay. But there is a little wiggle room in there. Let's take a look at his articulation. He can look up that high. He can look down that low. He's got very little chicken neck. He's got a ton of waggle. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, again, I'm looking in there. I don't see any butterfly in there. Not quite 90 degrees. Raising up the arm. 360 degrees of rotation at the shoulder, though. Hinge and swivel at the elbow. Swivels around 360 degrees. And the elbow bend gives you a pretty good bit past 90. 360 degree rotation at the wrist on a It's on like that half dumbbell where it's the rod with the ball at the end, and so you can, it gets all kind of movement there. And at the waist, I'm assuming if he's like the others, there's like a ball at the waist. It allows him to bend backwards slightly, bend forward slightly, lean a little left and right. Got a little hula going on in there, and a full 360-degree rotation. Now at the hips, this suit overlay is going to get in the way a bit, but it does move up out of the way just, you know, a little bit. This is what he gets for the splits. He can kick forward that far. His leg gets about 3 steps back, it looks like. Cut at the upper thigh for a 360-degree rotation. Hinge and swivel at the knee. Swivels around 360 degrees. And approximately a 90-degree bend. And at the ankle, tilts down that far. Tilts up slightly, and forward-facing pin for rocker. And again, the feet are that soft rubbery type of plastic, and I don't really care for that on this line of figures so far. And he doesn't want to stand up. Of course he doesn't. There we go. That, my friends, does it for a look at the figure and him falling down and his accessories and build an artifact pieces. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have all of Wave 1 Indiana Jones Adventure Series, along with the Build an Artifact, the Ark of the Covenant. We have in the front row Indiana Jones, Sala, Marion, and in the back, Belloc in his ceremonial garb, and Toht. For our final set of comparisons from Raiders of the Lost Ark Adventure Series, here we have Raiders of the Lost Ark Toht, with making his cameo appearance from the Marvel Legends series, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, we have the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, we have the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And from Masters of the Universe Masterverse, for a 7-inch scale comparison, we have the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Indiana Jones Adventure Series, Major Arnold Toht, I have to say this is an okay figure. It really does throw back to that original Kenner figure with the coat laying over his shoulders, the fact that he can put out his hand in that World War II German salute, and he has the headpiece to the Staff of Ra embedded in one of his extra hands, and that's, I think, is really cool. And I don't want to come out right out and say, you know, that word, because it will probably lead to, you know, YouTube killing this video or cutting it, whatever it is that they do with the videos. But overall, I have to say he's an okay figure. I feel like his head is a little bit small when compared to the rest of Series 1. And I don't know if that's because of the hat, or I'm really not sure why. It seems like his head is a little bit small compared to the rest of the line so far, at least. I do like his extra melty head from the end of Raiders when he sees the angels of unaliving coming out of the Ark of the Covenant, and he just kind of melts, and he comes with that Walther P38 pistol, which is is probably what the intelligence officers or officers period carried during that time frame. And I don't know, like I said, he's an okay figure. If you're really down with Raiders, which is, in my opinion, the best Indiana Jones movie, your mileage, of course, may vary, but Raiders is my favorite. And growing up as a kid, this was one of the original Kenner action figures, and my brother and I had a good portion of that line. And this is just, he's very nostalgic for me, and I'm glad, even with his small head, I'm glad that I did go ahead and pick him up. And it wouldn't be a complete Raiders of the Lost Ark without Toht, or the line wouldn't be complete. Anyway, I think you know what I mean. That does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, or just help the channel out further, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.